Hi y'all, it's Lonnie here with Art Ripples, and today we're going to paint a fall painting. I'm going to do a pumpkin and a cat and a starry night kind of sky. So gather up all your supplies, all your materials that you might need, and get ready to get painting with me. If you bought the kit, you can just go ahead and get everything out of the kit. It has all your paint colors and the brushes and everything needed. If not, well, just kind of follow along and I'll put what colors I'm using in the description. But I want to go ahead and get just started on painting. So I'm going to start with the blue sky. So I'm going to use a dark blue. And this color is actually called primary blue. Use any dark blue color you want. When you're following my tutorials, I'll tell you what I used, but you can use any colors that you have available to use. The good thing about this is just getting started and just enjoying getting the paint on the canvas, seeing something come out of a blank canvas is awesome. So I have pre-sketched a little bit, and you'll see I'm going kind of gently around what's going to be my moon in my starry night here. I'm not very worried if I cover it because it's going to be in a bright color. Acrylic is very, very forgiving, so you can always just come right over it and cover it up. I'm using about a 3/4 inch flat brush, bigger space, bigger brush. Smaller space, smaller brush. So as I get close to my kitty cat that I have drawn out, I am going to move to a smaller brush, or I will turn my brush at an angle so that I get a nice sharp line. The kitty cat also will be colored in black, so I'm not too worried. You can well, you'll obviously see the painting when it's finished, but I'm also gonna try and put a tracer in the description so that you can print out a tracer and copy it onto your canvas. Or if you've bought the kit, it's already printed on your canvas. It's already there. The guidelines are already there for you to follow. And if you are wondering how do I get the painting onto my canvas from the tracer, I'll put a link to a video where I show you how that's done. I'll put that also in the description. Remember to have fun with these paintings. Turn on some music. You really don't need to hear my voice, even though I talk through these. you can most definitely just turn on the music and just follow my tutorial by just watching me and pausing it, watching a little bit further, pausing it again, and just follow along like that. And since this is the sky that I'm doing up here, I'm going randomly. I'm not staying very horizontal. I'm just going randomly. And to show you my smaller brush, I have a round brush and I'll use that. Try and hold on to it, don't drop it like I just did. To go around my kitty cat. But once again, even if I accidentally cover my cat, I am okay with that because the kitty cat's gonna be black and the black will go right over this blue. This is just fun to do. It's beginning to feel like fall here. I'm in Texas and it's finally getting a little bit cooler. So enjoying the weather and painting fall paintings just seems appropriate. For what we're doing, pumpkins. And again, I just took it and went around my cat, but I'm not very worried about being perfect in there. Again, fun, relaxing, impressionistic even, whimsical. So many different words can describe this. Stressful is not one of them. I'm going to go back to my small brush that I didn't do inside. And once again, you can cover this whole area with the blue and then come back and do the moon and the bright color. I might even do the moon in a neon color and see how I like that. So I'm just going back over. Acrylic dries very, very quickly. So just to darken my blue, again, I'm using primary blue. This is from Deco Art. It's just craft paint. You can use any paint you want. This is a nice, fun way to paint. And I find that this brand covers really well and is relatively inexpensive. I don't get any kind of kickback from them or anything. So use whatever you have available to you. If you don't have a dark blue, if your blue is too light, you can add a little bit of black to it, turn it I think orange is what's opposite blue on the color wheel. So if you add orange to it, it may get a little bit darker. Being careful not to turn it other colors, but there we go. And how fun is this? Okay, so I have now a dark blue background, which I like a lot. So I'm gonna leave it like that. And now I'm going to wash out my brushes. And we're gonna work on the pumpkin. So I'm washing out my brushes. And I'm gonna come down to my pumpkins and work on them. I'm going to use a spiced pumpkin color and a primary yellow. The spiced pumpkin is kind of like more of a dark orange or a more of a darker orange, not as bright as I would say, not as bright orange like maybe jack-o'-lantern orange is probably brighter, but I'm going to use this one, spiced pumpkin. I like that color. So I'm going to come in here and just use my orange, and I am going to do what kind of sort of looks like parentheses. I'll show you now. I'm going to make one parentheses that way, and then I'm going to come and make another parentheses this way. So once again, this is a little bit sketched out on mine, and you can use your tracer to have this on there, or if you bought the kit, it's already printed on there. And if you see the black going through here, that's where I had drawn out the cat's tail when I was originally kind of sketching on there, but it's going to wind up covering. I'll still be able to see it through it because I traced it out with a marker. So I just kind of did the parentheses until I closed the area. And so I'm going to come over here and do the same thing for the next area. Just do parentheses this way. And really it's kind of all going to look orange, but it's the brush strokes. Kind of take your eye in that direction. So, and here's my last one. Again, my parentheses. And you'll notice I'll turn and twist my brush just to get either a nice sharp line or to fill in the space. I'll flatten it out. And now I'm going to continue to do that on the opposite side. And while I'm doing that, I'm actually going to ask my daughter Hadassah to check on my video and make sure that it's still going because I can't see it. Hadassah, would you check on my video for me?
It's still going.
Awesome, thank you.
Welcome.
And so, we're very helpful, Hadassah. So I just did my parentheses in this opposite direction. These went this way, these are going this way. And if you can tell, I've kind of covered up my kitty cat a little bit, and I'm okay okay with that. I know where he's at, so I'll come back in and draw him in. Just to show y'all, I'm going to come all the way from up here and go down. This way you can see that even though I cover him up, I can come back in and put him in. The kitty cat is sitting on a huge, huge pumpkin. He's huge pumpkin. And Hadassah and I, a few years back, went to a pumpkin patch near where we live. And we saw huge pumpkins. I took a picture of her sitting on one of these huge pumpkins. And I think they told me they were called princess pumpkins or Cinderella pumpkins. I can't remember. But also, do you remember if they were called princess pumpkins or Cinderella pumpkins?
I think they were Cinderella.
Cinderella pumpkins? She thinks they may have been called Cinderella pumpkins. They're huge pumpkins. Okay, so I have all the orange down. I'm going to come in with a little bit of yellow. And this is primary yellow. And I'm going to come in here in towards the middle of where I was. And this is just going to give it a little bit of dimension. So I'm going in towards the middle of where the parentheses is at. And if it's blending into your orange, that is okay. And if it's not blending into your orange, that is okay. So on this part, you can just have as much fun as you want. Sticking yellow in there and orange, and you can go back and forth with the two colors as much as you want until you get the look that you're going for. I think for this side, for mine, I'm going to keep it a little darker. So I'm going to come back in with orange. And darken this orange just a bit. There we go. So there is our pumpkin. So now we have a blue sky and an orange and yellow pumpkin. The starts of it. So now I'm going to work right here in this little area, which is the stem to the pumpkin. So for that one, I'm going to try this milk chocolate color. Let's see if that's dark enough. You know what's fun with these paintings is experimenting with the colors. It's so much fun. You don't know if, okay, that's a good color, or if it's not going to be a good color, and you just try it. And if you like it, that's grand. And if it doesn't come out the color you want, acrylic is so forgiving. It is awesome. You let it dry and you move to another color. And you go right over it with another color. And that is phenomenal about acrylics. So I actually think this might be a tad bit too light for my liking. So I might come in with a darker color in a second. But what do you think I'll do first? I'm gonna let it dry. I think it's a little light, but we're gonna let it dry and see how it turns out. I keep messing with it. Maybe I said that, didn't I? Okay, so I'm gonna let it dry. I think that's a little too light for me. We'll let it dry and come in with a darker color. So let's work on Mr. Kitty. Mr. Kitty is in black. So let's see, I have this, it's called Lamp Black. Did you actually know that there are different shades of black? There is darker blacks and lighter blacks. There are different shades. This one is Lamp Black. I know that in my art classes, both the ones that I took and the ones that I taught when I was teaching, I teach art lessons to homeschoolers, and I used to teach for Michael's. Those paints are the more professional grade paints that I use, and there was one called Mars Black. So I'm coming in here to do my kitty cat. I'm using my round brush. Oh, H, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
One more time, can you check? Because I didn't accidentally do it. I forgot and moved my my canvas.
Okay.
So it may not be in the full screen now. My lovely assistant, Tadassa.
You're good.
I'm still in the full screen?
Yep.
Awesome, and went right back to where I was. That's pretty cool. Didn't think I could do that. So, thank you. So I'm coming in here and just kind of outlining my cat that's sitting on my pumpkin. You may see me use my pinky. Y'all don't laugh at my broken pinky. I broke it years ago when I was younger. And it stayed crooked because I didn't follow medical instructions. But I'm using my pinky to steady my hand. But again, just have fun with it. He's a kitty. You're only seeing the back of the kitty because he is staring at the moonlight. And the stars that we're going to put up there in a second. If you did the whole sky and blue and your kitty's not there, this would be the perfect time to put your kitty back in. And if you are going to put your kitty back in and you're afraid just to go straight with your paintbrush, you can always use chalk, right? I'm going to use it in a little bit to show you, but chalk, you can draw with chalk directly onto your canvas. And if you don't like how it looks, then with a dry brush, you can erase your marks and it will come off. So if you don't want to go straight in with the paint, you can do it that way. Now, of course, if you have it pre-printed and you went around the kitty cat, then you won't have to do that. So this is a bigger space. You can come in and change brushes if you wish, or you can just fill it in like I'm kind of filling it in with my small brush, not having to change back to my big brush. And I'm just filling it in. And now you see he's sitting on the pumpkin, and you'll see here now that I'm actually going to go right over and cover that orange from the pumpkin. And there's our kitty cat. Sitting on our pumpkin. All right. So now I'm going to clean out my brush. Actually, let me go ahead and put in his tail. And we might come back later and redo his tail, but I'm going to come in and put in his tail. So if you have the pre-drawn, then you just color it in. And if you don't, and you're freehanding the tail, so make sure that your paint is slightly wet, and then just swoop your tail in there. I love that it's pre-printed because it makes it so much easier. If you're a beginner artist and you're just afraid you won't get it right, it takes away all those fears, all those anxieties, and just allows you to enjoy. Just allows you to enjoy putting the paint on the canvas and creating. Allows you to just create. And you don't have to worry about what are you creating, how do I do it. And if you have the kit, if you bought the kit, you don't worry about what colors to use. Everything is on there, and the step-by-step tutorial just tells you exactly what to do. So there's our kitty cat's tail. I like my kitty cat's tail. And there he is. All right. So now I'm going to come in and darken this little area right here. So I am going to try coffee bean. Why not? Let's see if coffee bean is darker. Coffee bean does not look much darker than milk chocolate. But we're gonna see. We're gonna try that color anyway. Coffee bean. And acrylic dries darker too. when you first put it on your canvas, it may not seem that dark, but it does dry a little darker than what it is when you first put it on. And you know what's great about these tutorials is you don't have to finish it all in one shot. So you can take your time, and if you don't finish it, you can just leave off where you're at and then come back and finish it later. That's the awesome thing here too. So with this same coffee bean color, I'm going to put some into my pumpkin. Kind of like in between the areas that were supposed to be the parentheses. And I might not do all of it. I just come in here and do some areas. Some of my areas I still had a little bit look like white, my canvas showing through. So I'm just going to come in here and that was showing me my separations. So I use that to my advantage. I'm using my round brush, using my finger to kind of steady my hand, and just coming through. And just putting some dark brown. This one's called coffee bean. I had to look back at it. But you can use any dark brown that you have. Use any of the colors that you have. Make it your own. Have fun. So there's my pumpkin. I like the way that looks. So now we're going to work on some highlights on the cat, filling in my stars, doing the moon, and maybe some highlights on my pumpkin. Let's do the moon. So once again, I'm going to take the small brush and I'm going to use the primary yellow. And then I'm going to come in here and make my moon. Now I left my moon white and painted my sky around it. But if you didn't, and you find that the yellow that you're using does not cover well over your blue, what you do is you take titanium white and you paint your moon titanium white first. Then when that is dry, you come back with the yellow. And that is how you get it to brighten up. So I like that. Now I'm going to take that chalk and we're going to chalk out the Starry Night with our chalk. So that way we know where we want to paint it. I hope you guys have grabbed like your favorite drink and snack and everything to do this with. Okay, so I'm gonna turn mine this way. I'm gonna put it on the side. I hope you can still see that. Hey Hadassah, can I borrow you again? Can you tell me, I'm pretty sure they can see it, but can you tell me if they can see this? So I took it from like this. Tell me if you can see the whole thing.
Yes.
You can still see the whole painting?
Yes.
Awesome. And when I turn it this way?
Part of the pumpkin is cut off.
Part of the pumpkin, but you can see this area right here?
Yes.
Awesome, that's what I need.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's so cool to have an assistant. Okay, so Starry Night is kind of like Van Gogh's, right, seeing the wind, motion of the wind, right? That's what Starry Night is, like the motion of the wind. So that's what we're gonna do, or stars, but I think it's like the motion of the wind. And so I'm gonna come around here and I'm gonna kind of do it like this. This is the moon. So I'm gonna go around my moon and I'm doing dashes and I'm kind of creating an S with my dashes. Then I'm gonna come back out again with my dashes like the beginning of an S again. So let's see if you can see that. Can you see like an S? And then an S again. So that's gonna be the pattern that I'm gonna use for my small short dashes of color that we're gonna put in there. So I'm gonna do it again and I'm gonna come over here and I'm just following my own S that I created. See that? And again, over here, I'm gonna go this way. Right? And it's gonna kind of hopefully look like waves of wind. That's what we're hoping for. I think I like that. Once we have that down, we'll see if we need or how much more we want on there. But right now, I think that wave of an S right here, S, and then S. All right, let's see how that looks when we put color onto it. So turn our back ups. And again, I used chalk because that way if I didn't like an area, I could erase it. So I'm going to use the yellow, the primary yellow, and titanium white. And I'm going to start with the white. And I'm going to come around and kind of just put dashes. Following my curved pattern. Come in with the yellow too. And I don't I don't want it to be like one yellow, one white. I want it to be random. So I'm just gonna randomly choose some to make yellow and some randomly ones to make white. Now you can go in the direction, right, that you want your eyes to be moving. So kind of like that. And again, the good thing is I did this in chalk. So when this is all dry, I can actually erase those chalk marks. And I'm going back and forth between the yellow and the white. Some yellow, some white. Have fun, fun, fun with it. No one is judging your painting. No one is here to tell you if they like your work or not. This should be pleasing to you. Whether you're 5 or 105. So if you're doing this with a child and or one of the children are doing this, I hope parents that you make this fun and put on some music for them and let them get as creative as they want to be, because it's fun to be creative. And as stressful as life is right now, it's awesome to have an outlet to say, this is where I can be creative and enjoy myself and not worry about it or how it turns out, but have fun. Fun, fun, fun with it. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of the white and I am going to come in here and outline my moon. So it's kind of going to look like it's glowing a little bit, I guess. Look how fun that is. Doing kind of short strokes. Go. My moon is glowing. I like him. So now I'm just adding some more of the strokes of the wind there. And you can kind of see my little pattern going right here. There it is. So I like my Starry Night. And let's put in some nice dots, bigger dots that could be like the stars. So I'm gonna put a nice yellow dot over there. I'll come down here and put a nice yellow dot right here. I think I'll put white in the center. Maybe I should do it the other way. Nice big dots. Nice wavy sky. Let's put some highlights on Mr. Kitty. So in the same white, I'm gonna highlight Mr. Kitty's ear. Now, I have a pretty big round brush. If you bought the kit, the brush is probably smaller than this, or if you have your own, remember that the lighter the pressure, the thinner the line, the harder the pressure, the thicker the line. So use light pressure here. Don't be afraid if you mess up, because acrylic is what? Forgiving, which means you can cover it right back up again. Light pressure. I'm going to do light pressure on his tail and give his tail a little bit too. Maybe right up here, tip of his tail. These are highlights. It's fun to highlight too. So I think I'm going to give some highlight to the stem. I'm going to come in here with the yellow. And follow the stem right around. Some areas where the light might be hitting it. Like that. Same thing with my pumpkin. Kind of where the light might be hitting the pumpkin. I think I'm going to come in and put some stars back in here. So I'm going to use the back of my brush, not this end we normally use. I'm going to use this end, and you're going to see it's going to make some really cute dots. So I'm going to take the yellow, and I'm just going to come in here randomly, put some dots. And maybe some white ones. I'm using the back of my brush to do the dots. Look how easy and fun that was. See that? So I think I'm going to take a little bit of white with a little bit of blue, and I'm going to make a very, very light blue. Very light blue in comparison to my sky. It's going to be nice and light. And I think I'm going to outline my pumpkin here. I'm going to outline it in this color, this light blue color. And I'm hoping that that's going to make it look like it's glowing a little. Like there's light coming from behind the pumpkin, right? Because Kitty Cat is out there staring at the stars and staring at the moon. This might be a little bit easier for you guys because you'll be directly in front of your canvas. I'm kind of set off to the side just so that the camera can pick up on the canvas, but you guys should be right in front of yours. So it should be nice and easy to outline it right in front. There's my outlined pumpkin. And there he is, guys. Our kitty cat and our pumpkin and our starry night sky. I think it looks cute. And you can come back and put in anything you want, more highlights if you wish. Less highlights, fix it anywhere you want to fix it. Right? This is going to make it yours. This is where you take your painting and completely make it yours. And of course, I want to see what you've done. I really would love to see what you guys do with yours. I think it would be real nice to see how yours turned out, what you added additionally, what else you put in it. It would just be so much fun to see all of that. I'd love to see it. So of course I post it. I'm going to, you're probably watching this tutorial on YouTube. So I would love for you to put it in the comments. Show me the ones that you've done in the comments. If you're seeing it on my Facebook, or you got the link from my Facebook, go back to Art Ripples and put it in there. Put your painting in there. Don't forget to sign your paintings. I would love to see it. And also remember that if you want to purchase the kit on Art Ripples Facebook page, you can purchase a pre-printed canvas that will have everything you need in your kit, including all the colors will come either like this or like this. You'll get the colors, you'll get the brushes that you need to complete it. You'll get a palette and paper towels, everything you pretty much need just to get started on painting it, plus you have this tutorial to follow. So I hope you enjoyed it, and check out all my other videos and check out my other kits, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!